This is Ian from Bedouin Soundclash, and you're at Popularity.
How do you feel that the response has been to the new album so far? Are you satisfied?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, typically when we make music and we make new albums, it's definitely it can be a very selfish endeavor where we're looking to make songs that excite us and that we find interesting and that we feel comfortable playing. So ultimately, if people like it or not, it's nice to know, but it doesn't really change the reasons why we do it or whether we like what we've done or not. But with this new album, the response so far has been really positive, and people are excited, and a lot of people are saying that it seems like we've grown and maybe matured a little bit musically and in terms of our writing, so it's exciting.
How do you approach your music? Has the approach changed over time?
Not too much. I mean, typically we spend a lot of time, especially when we're on the road, we like to look around and find new ideas and new music and get inspired by things going on around us, and then we'll come home offshore and, typically Jay will spend some time coming up with some ideas in terms of chords and melodies and some things he can play, and maybe sometimes he'll have an idea for a bass line or a drum part, and he'll bring it to me, and we'll work on stuff together, and I'll come up with a bass part, and maybe we'll change the drums or change the structure, and then we'll bring it to Sekou, our drummer, and we'll all work on it together, and then, see how it's going, and if it makes sense, and if we're feeling the product.
Mm-hmm. What would you say are the key challenges that you face during the creative process?
I mean, the key challenges are, I would say, first, it's hard to make music that feels very new sometimes because, there's just so much music out there that's existed before us that, you can easily start playing something and think it sounds really good and then realize that, it's very similar to something else that you maybe forgot that you knew or that you heard in a store a couple of days ago or whatever. So for us, it's really important to keep things, really feeling innovative. So it can take a while to feel like we've hit that kind of feeling. And then other than that, it's just it's about trying to make a song that feels like it moves well and in the right ways, and the parts to it make sense and it's not boring or just repetitive. But all those kinds of things, it takes time to develop those kinds of ideas. So those are our main challenges to the creative process. But we generally don't, we usually are pretty good about waiting until we're individually feeling pretty inspired to bring something to the table to the rest of us, and it's usually pretty exciting, and we try not to waste each other's time, basically.
What would you say is the biggest thing that you've learned about yourself throughout the process for the album?
I guess with this particular recording, it was, I definitely, working with King Britt, he was really encouraging in terms of how getting me personally to vocalize my ideas, and, he reinforced that a lot of the ideas I had musically were good. But also he, challenged us to play our instruments in a better way. I played different instruments. I used the guitar pick for the first time on record. I, used a drinking glass to get some sounds out of my bass guitar that, I wouldn't normally do. So, I really learned a lot about how to manipulate my instrument better.
Did any songs surprise you by taking a different direction than you initially envisioned?
Definitely, yeah, there are a few. I mean, there's a song called The Quick and the Dead that, it basically, we didn't even go down there with that song. We were just in the studio with some time off, and Jay kind of started messing with it, and then, I came in with the bass line. It just inspired the bass line immediately, and we recorded it, and, about 20, 25 minutes later, we have a song. There's another song on the album called No One Moves, No One Gets Hurt, that, Jay, when he wrote it, was originally written on an acoustic guitar, and kind of like a, folky, kind of folk singer-songwriter number. And when we recorded it, King Britt invited some musician friends of his in, and Tim Motzler, who's a great string instrument player, came in and played guitar and ukulele. And, once we put all those tracks on it, it felt like maybe the parts that he did fit the mood better, and he chose some interesting, some really interesting like chord changes and stuff that made it darker. And so we took the acoustic guitar off the track, and now it's just ukulele and a rain stick, and that really changed the emotion in the song. So, we did change things during the studio, the recording process. And those are great moments in the recording,
Mm-hmm. Creating music is like organizing an accident. What do you think of that statement?
I'd say creating music is a unique experience for anyone that's trying to create it. So, I mean, for some people, I'm sure that it feels like it's like organizing an accident where I don't know, I guess I interpret that as, you stumble upon some ideas and then you try to put things in the right order, put things together in a way that makes sense. That does happen. We've had things like that happen in terms of recording, but I'd also say that, we are such big fans of music and we're always listening to music that, that it's not really an accident. A lot of the stuff we do, I'm not trying to say that we're like brilliant musicians or amazing songwriters, but, we will intentionally do a lot of things as well in terms of the way we write our songs. We'll, say, oh, I really like this part. We want to do something kind of like this. Let's modify that idea maybe this way. And so, it's definitely a lot of organizing, though. I would say making music, especially in a commercial sense, I'd say, is a lot of organizing. If you're just making music in your house for fun in your bedroom, you can do whatever you want. So, but once you start feeling a sense of responsibility to, people around you or to a style that you've created, then, it's a little bit more work.
Mm-hmm. Can you describe your attraction to music?
I guess. I mean, I grew up in a house where there was a lot of music around. So my parents, my dad was a DJ for the family and stuff, and my mom always listened to a lot of music. So I grew up surrounded by it, and so it's really natural for me to. I feel predisposed to music, so it's not really that surprising that I ended up working in the field of music, because it's something that I've grown up around a lot.
Mm-hmm. At this point, what keeps you inspired to explore and create new music that you haven't ventured into before?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah. At this point, what keeps you inspired to explore and create new music that you haven't ventured into before?
I mean, that kind of answers the question for me, I guess. The things that I haven't ventured into before, when I stumble upon things like that, musical styles or ideas that I haven't really been exposed to, those kinds of things are very inspirational a lot of the time and can, spark creativity in a certain direction or get us thinking a certain way about the music we're making. Other than that, it's just kind of like people and places around us and other musicians that, regularly inspire us to do things.